Wow. Exactly. Hey guys, Christina here at Godly Garden Homestead. Welcome. If this is your first time here, we are so thankful and grateful that you decided to join us today. If this is not your first time here, then thank you so much for coming back and spending time with us. We are so excited because spring is here, y'all. The bees are buzzing. We have flowers blooming, all of that good stuff. It's almost time to plant out majority of our crops. Now, our last frost date is Monday, April the 7th. We're in Virginia in zone 7B. And today is, what's today?
Today is Saturday.
April the
5th.
Yes, April the 5th. Today is Saturday, April the 5th. So our last frost day is in 2 days. So technically, we could plant out on Monday. We could plant out today. But I did look at the weather, and we are supposed to have a cold front coming in next week. It's supposed to dip down into the 30s at night. So I don't want to plant out any of our warm weather crops too soon. Today, we are going through and we are just watering. We're doing a light water so we can get rid of some of this pollen, but we are going to fertilize everything. So we're going to fertilize with our Alaska fish fertilizer, but I'm just going to make sure that the soil is wet. It did rain a little bit last night, but I don't know how much it rained. I will stick my finger in the soil, but I also want to make sure that the surface of the soil is a little wet. And I'm looking at it now, and it's not, it's dry. This is gonna allow our fertilizer to penetrate into the soil. It is a liquid fertilizer, so it's gonna be immediately available to the plants. So normally what I do is just unhook one side and then water one side at a time so I don't have to take the entire netting off. But since we're going to fertilize and I haven't been out here in a couple of days, I also want to look at the plants. Look at that little white moth inside. That thing got inside of my netting. And I'm just... Ow. It was inside of the netting, so we're going to squish him up in there. Him, her, because we don't want it laying eggs.
They can't really see it.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they always lay eggs every day.
There it is. I squished it. It has laid eggs. Look how much growth we have gotten. If you were here back in October, we did a plant out and planted a lot of these in the fall. And of course, you know, during the fall and winter months, production slows down because it's not, the sun isn't out as much. We got a new little basket, so we're gonna use this as a harvesting basket. The sun isn't out as much, so production is pretty slow. I didn't come out here to harvest any of that. I came out here to harvest some.
You scared me.
I know, me too. To harvest some spinach for the dinner I'm making tonight.
I'm gonna help my mommy.
What I'm also doing is going through and looking to see if any of the plants are starting to go to seed, if there's a flower starting to form, and pinching those off. I've been coming and doing that as I've been harvesting. So here's one on our kale over here. I've pinched them off recently. I came through and pinched most of them off that I saw, but as you can see them starting to get tall like this, this is letting us know that it's trying to go to seed, because it's starting to get warm out here. And the kale, the collards, all of our leafy greens that we eat for their leaves, they are cool weather crops. So when you see your plant starting to form this, it will let you know that if you continue to keep this on here, this will flower and it will form seeds. Like right here, this one is starting to flower. This is a collard, and you can also tell by how the stem is getting all stalky, like it's getting tall. So it's saying, hey, it's getting warm out here. It's time to self-preservate. Let's make some flowers so we can make sure that we live, as in not them, but their children. So they are starting to go to seed, because everything, plants, humans, animals, we all want to survive. So I don't see any more flowers forming. So I'm just gonna go ahead and gently water this. Now you will hear people say, do not overhead water, do not overhead water. I don't have time for that. I overhead water. I water the soil. I water the leaves. All of that. Now what I will say is I typically do not water or overhead water the leaves when the sun is out in the middle of the day. Even when I'm just watering the soil, unless I see that the plant is very dry and sad and droopy, then I will water when the sun is out. Other than that, I do not water when the sun is out or when the sun is in my backyard. I'll say it like that, because the sun is out, it's just not in my backyard. All of the stuff that we planted up here, actually, now that I think about it, I have not been recording. So I've been doing a lot of planting and not bringing you along on a journey. So if you're looking at the bed like, what is going on, and you've been following, I've been out here planting, and I just did not have the energy or the time, the capacity, the mind, any of that to record in the moment. So please forgive me. I was trying to get things planted out, and so I was out here planting things. And I will show you, I do have some shorts of some of the flowers and stuff that I planted. I planted some calendula, I planted parsley, I planted some celery, some nasturtium, some morning glories, a little bit of chamomile. Yeah, I planted a bunch of flowers and stuff because a lot of them were starting to bloom, and that either means they're ready to be planted and or they were stressed and I needed to plant them out. And luckily they've all survived since I planted them out. Nasturtiums, marigolds are more warm weather flowers, but it has been warm, so they're doing good. Hopefully they will survive this 30-degree dip that we're gonna have soon. But calendula, chamomile, celery, all of that are good cool weather crops, so they're good to go. My husband is calling me, so let's go see what he wants. Okay, so I did ask him about planting my blueberry bushes in the front yard, so I kind of feel like that's what he's been doing, digging up the stuff that I wanted to take out. Wow. Exactly. And that's exactly what he did. He dug up this tree because I was thinking about planting a couple of blueberry bushes in the front yard so they can get a little bit more sun.
How'd you take this out?
What do you think?
Shovel.
Oh.
Is the soil good for me to plant them right here?
Yeah, but you still need the other soil.
Okay. We still have topsoil and other stuff. What is that?
That's a root.
A root?
That's good. That's some get off it.
Is the root from these things going to interfere with the blueberries?
Oh, this is beautiful.
It should be.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned because we do have these azaleas right here. We have some trees in here. So we have a couple of different places that we could put the blueberries. I'm thinking, oh, okay. So I know blueberries do well in pairs. So I was thinking about planting 2 blueberries right here, because this does get pretty decent sun right here. And then my next thing was, I was gonna pull this tree down right here.
Right here? No.
It's like pink and white. I was gonna pull this one down right here and put the other blueberry. Tell me what you guys think. But I think I'll just do the blueberries right here. Now I was gonna move this barrel right there, but my husband reminded me there's a dead stump, so that's not a good spot. We do have, y'all, the grass is coming back in really good.
This is so soft.
I thought about down there by these trees, pulling up that bush. I was thinking about putting the blueberry bushes over here, but then my husband was like, you don't want it that close to the road. Somebody might come and try to steal your blueberries. We put these 3 trees and put this edging around right here. I kind of wish we would have put the blueberries right there. I love these azaleas. They're really pretty when they bloom, but they only last for like a week, yes, and then they're dead, and then all the little dead flowers just fall everywhere. So he pulled this one up.
These are separate.
Oh, they're 2 different trees?
Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering why they were like that. Okay, so he pulled that one up. Let's move around here on this side of the house. This one is kind of dead. So, well, I mean, this one looks just as dead as the other one.
We're gonna dig this up.
What you think?
We're gonna dig this.
To make it look full, well, because it looked like it got cut.
Oh, so you just gonna plant the other one behind it to make it look a little fuller? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because then we have this one,
Put it kind of right here because
and then these 2.
that's what.
This is not a shrub video. Here is what I've been planting out. And we do have some flowers that have died back. So what we're gonna do is just, the ones that have, the flowers have died back, we're just going to pull them off, and that is called deadheading, to encourage our little flowers to put off more flowers. Encourage our plant to put off more flowers. Getting off this pollen. We've got a bunch of strawberry flowers coming in, so we should get quite a bit of strawberries. If you remember, oh, let's see if I can bring this down. If you remember, these are the strawberries we planted together back in February. We dug these up out of our strawberry bed and planted some in this pot. Oh my gosh. I dropped my strawberry plant. That's okay. That's all right. Strawberries are pretty resilient. They should be fine. Ooh, that pollen. Y'all, do you see this bed? Like, Look how much this stuff is growing in here. The calendula is popping. The marigolds is going. We got some asters back here. We have some real beautiful marigolds in here. I love these. These are called the Bolero, I believe. They are so pretty. These are the first variety of marigolds. Ooh, these are the first variety of marigolds I ever grew, and I love them. We got a bunch of transplants coming in. Look at those tomatoes back there. All right, so we're gonna water these, and while I'm in here, I'm gonna harvest some spinach because I need spinach for tonight's dinner. So we're just gonna make sure the soil is damp and get all this pollen off of these plants. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I've got a bunch of French breakfast radishes. Y'all, this pollen. French breakfast radishes. These are my cardoons. I have 3 of these. This is Destiny's bed right here. She has some morning glories in here. She has a bunch of radishes, some calendula, some lettuce, some cabbage, and some peas growing in the back. Oh, and a bunch of flowers that are coming up. I see them now. They have germinated. So I planted flowers in and throughout the onion bed, and I see some germination. I also planted some sweet alyssum on the end right here. I see some germination coming through of that stuff, but then I also see stuff like this. I definitely didn't plant this tomato in here. Definitely looks like a tomato. Smells like a tomato. Still has some root to it, so I might put it in a separate pot and see what it does. And if you guys see me so aimlessly, I don't want to say aimlessly, effortlessly walking around with my water hose, this is not a paid promotion, but it is because I got me a new water hose. It is a retractable hose from Vivor, I believe it's pronounced. Vivor. Yeah, I think this is the bed we should get the spinach from. We definitely need to harvest. Okay, Mr. Bees, calm down. Calm down. I haven't planted anything in this bed yet, but just to keep it moist is good. The strawberry and the garlic, and if you can see, flowers are already coming through. And then once we do that, I'll show you what my husband did behind it, what he was working on a couple of weeks ago with that chainsaw. There are our strawberries and garlic, looking really, really good. If you remember, we planted these strawberries over here in February. We dug them up from our old strawberry bed and planted them over here. And we have about 7 flowers popping up right now. So I'm happy about that. Look, another little volunteer. We can't save all of them though. I know garlic doesn't really need to be watered, but I'm already over here, so I just water. Here is my new little section. I don't want to say it's new, but it's newly renovated, I shall say. I planted over here beside the shed before, but this time my husband dug up that stump for the most part and then made it a bit level, so then I can put my grow bags in here. All through here is where my peppers, some of my determinate tomatoes, which are the tomatoes that do not vine. They don't need a trellis. They are the bush type. I'll plant some of those over here. My peppers, that way, since they're slow growers, I don't have to pull them out of the raised beds, and I can let them stay in their containers until they are ready to be, until they either are ready to die off or I winterize them. So that's that. We have some potatoes over here. We planted these when we planted our strawberries back in February. We have a store-bought one, like store-bought potatoes that I let chit and then planted them. And then we also have a couple of seed potatoes. Then we have some more store-bought potatoes right here, which I just planted these like a couple of weeks ago, and they're already starting to come up. We have 2 ground cherries that I planted out maybe about a week ago. And then around the corner over there is our grape bush, which I had chopped down. I wasn't sure if it was going to come back, but it is. It's actually coming back. So I'm gonna try to see if my husband can actually, once the branches start branching out, get him to trellis it on the back of the shed right here. So that's why that's sitting there. Let me get all these watered so I can start fertilizing. So I got 4 things of potatoes, and I still haven't planted out my sweet potatoes. So I think these are 15-gallon grow bags. I think I'll get another 15-gallon and put my sweet potatoes in. The raised bed is all the way over here, and you saw me walk around with the hose, and then the backyard, the rest of the backyard is over here. The hose reel, the retractable, is all the way on the side of this building right here. So this isn't even how long it's stretched. This is just a portion of it stretching, but I just want to show you guys how much of a game changer this has been. So all I do is gently tug, and then look, it's starting to reel back in. So let's go ahead and reel it back. It's probably got stuck underneath the porch, but let's reel it back in, just as I suspected. See, it is reeling. Whoa. Okay. Y'all, if that is not a game changer, you got a lot to garden. Literally. I think I bought the 110 foot, might be 150, I'm not sure, for like $89. My husband and I put this up in like 20 minutes. So now let's go and harvest some spinach, and then I will come through and fertilize everything. I do have a little pump sprayer that I can use, but I feel like using my watering can is the fastest method for me, because I feel like the sprayer doesn't spray as much and it's going to take longer. So I'm just going to use my watering can to fertilize all my plants with the Alaska fish fertilizer. But first, let's go ahead and harvest some spinach for dinner tonight. Like, look at these leaves. Look at all that space we've opened up right here just by cutting those back. Look at this big, huge romaine in here. I didn't even see that back there. Okay, so we left a couple of leaves on there. That should be good. All I know is we have a bunch of lettuce in here that we're gonna need to start harvesting. I can see some pest damage on some of these cabbage leaves. If you can see these holes right here, that means there's worms in here eating it. I'll just look at the back of the leaf for them and see. Oh, I see it. I can't even zoom in. Oh, what is this? Is this an aphid? You see that? I don't know what that is. I've never really had an aphid problem, so I don't know if that's an aphid, but I did just kill a little baby worm.
Mommy.
Just it was a cabbage worm. The ones we don't like. Look how big these leaves have gotten. Huge. Okay, all the soil is moist. So now I'm gonna go through and fertilize everything. I tried to do a liquid fertilizer once a week. I've been a little off on my schedule, so it's been a little bit over a week since I last fertilized everything. I'll put about 4 glugs into this, and it says it covers 25 square feet for vegetables and stuff. I don't do all of that math either, so 2 gallons will probably water maybe 10 plants. So I know you guys don't want to go through and see me water these in, because if you've been here before, then you've seen me water the plants with the fish fertilizer. All we're going to do is I put my fertilizer in first and then put my water in, and I put it on the rinse one, the one where it's like the straight stream, so that it's mixing it up so I don't have to stir it in. But if you don't have that, then you want to make sure that you stir your fertilizer in so it's fully dissolved into your water, and then just water your plants in. That is it. But so we have done a lot today. We're going to do that, we're going to fertilize it, and then that is going to be it. So if you stayed this long to this part of the video, then we thank you so much for joining us today, for taking time out of your day to spend with us. As always, if you like this video, make sure you do like it. Hit that thumbs up, hit that bell notification. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and join us back, because we will be planting out all of those plants that you saw on the porch. We will be planting those out shortly, within the next couple of weeks. So again, thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.